Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's recap of Big Brother 14.
Well, last time Janelle was blindsided and Frank was made the new HOH because he
Zero
won.
to hero
Eh.
for him. Alright, so Boogie and Frank are thrilled about how everything has turned out.
They could hardly hide it. They are going to be taking their relation to the next level.
Ooh.
Alright, so Joe is freaking out. He's using biofeedback.
He's like, I need to get my heart rate down.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was pulling out the nitroglycerin because his heart's beating out of his chest.
There was this really awkward scene too where like he was trying to do all this and then Frank walks in, he's like, hey, can
Those
I heat this up on the
carnitas.
stove?
Yeah.
Or...
He's like, I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
Alright, so Brittany thinks Frank is going to win the game.
And I think she has a good point.
I think she's got some valid concerns there. So Boogie and Frank have a little pre-powwow. Should we put up Dan as a pawn?
But not really a pawn.
Yeah, exactly. Too soon. Alright, so it's time for Frank's HOH room.
He had plenty of pics of him with his Nana.
He loves his Nana, and his Nana wrote him a letter, which I thought was really cool. She's proud of him. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be? Alright, and I love Nana's miss you much.
Yes, so Ashley just realized that she voted her ally out last week in Janelle.
That was pretty stupid to follow the crowd. If your Nana told you to jump off a bridge, would you? Maybe she doesn't have one. Maybe you should put it on the dream board. Alright, so Joe is a huge target because he was the only vote to evict Frank.
Yeah.
There's no hiding now, Joe.
That's a big no-no.
Exactly.
So, a little side note, Ian, Frank, and Shane were talking about all the dreams that they've been having in the house. This was kind of gross.
About JoJo, about Kara, about Willie, Hans. Come on, get your mind out of the gutter.
Well, there was that picture of him naked with the Fruit Loops box over his wiener.
Oh, I never saw that.
It was gross. I didn't mean to click on it.
All right. Okay, I hope we don't have a virus now.
No.
So Danielle is still hoping for some Shane action. She's delusional. Yeah. He don't want you. That's why he's playing hard to get.
She's like, I'm a catch.
Okay. All right, so Joe is a given for the block. But who are Boogie and Frank going to be putting up as the pawn?
I don't know. They're kind of like, oh, Dan, we need a pawn. You want to be the pawn?
Dan says no. All right, so Danielle's not a morning person, and
so Boogie takes this information
because he plays poker a lot
and figures out that Danielle is not a kindergarten teacher.
I mean, it was just more than not being a morning person.
Well, yeah, I know.
She knew that Advil was called naproxen. Who doesn't?
I don't know.
Just because you don't know, Boogie.
People don't just throw that around.
True. All right, so
he figures she's either a med student or a nurse.
Exactly.
And I'm pretty sure she's both.
Is she?
Not to be a doctor, but to be a registered nurse.
Okay. Well, Ashley's pretty messed up. Too bad Danielle can't help Ashley because she has got something
having some
wrong
severe
with her back.
spasms.
Yeah. And Boogie and Dan have to basically like lead her / carry her around even to make a pee-pee. So she's been in bed like one morning since 6 o'clock in the morning wishing she could go pee-pee, but she couldn't get up to do it. I'm surprised she didn't soil herself.
So needless to say, she was not able to compete in the have-have-not competition this week.
Well, that's a coincidence because it's time for the have-have-not competition.
Yeah, you didn't have to say that part. I was leading into it.
I know. So it's lemons versus limes, and Ashley sat out just like Maddie has told everyone.
So the goal of this competition is to soak up as much juice as possible with your costume.
Right. It was like
the quickest amount
it was
of time.
like the old one where weren't they like bread slices and they were making French toast or something
like this pretty much every season.
Yeah. So let's just cut to the highlights.
You gotta squeeze it out.
You gotta fill up people's barrels so that they're have-nots. Boogie really liked having Frank on top.
Oh.
He was glad that he sat in for Ashley. And Danielle, she was kind of worried about the lesbian on top of her. But then Shane made it all better when he squeezed the
That was
hell out of
really
her.
weird. This competition always makes for like really awkward moments.
Joe was a total loser.
He's just like sitting there in the pool of juice.
Yeah. Jerk. And Ian wished Ashley was on his team, but no, he had to go and strong arm all the bandanas and get on the guys' team.
Well, Ashley wasn't playing.
True. Rose before hose anyway, right, Ian? Alright, so the guys almost lost it because they had a little kink in their hose.
Yeah, but even with that, they still won.
Exactly. So that means they don't have to eat cod and candy canes if they don't want to. But Brittany, Joe, Danielle, and Shane do.
They're the have-nots this week.
All
Jen
right.
is off the hook.
Yeah. So it's time for the HOH powwow. Frank and Joe are having a little chat, and freaking Joe goes up there and throws Will under the bus hardcore.
Come on, Joe.
I know. You know that's not true. Well.
So Big Brother treated the house guests to a little pool basketball hoop this week, and it took Boogie about 5 seconds to break it.
Because he's a boogie douchebag. Alright, so it's HOH time again. There was a lot of HOH powwows. This
time with Will.
Exactly.
And Boogie and Frank.
Right. And they didn't like what Will had to say. Will said that he senses that there's a large group working together.
Will is smart. He can read people.
Exactly. And Boogie was like, that's cocky. No, what you got on between you and Frank is cocky.
Yeah, come on.
So Boogie don't like that. So he's thinking the target should be adjusted to include Will.
Yeah.
Only. He wants to keep Joe. But Frank says, no, I want to put up Dan. But Boogie says, no,
It's
too
too
soon.
So it's time for nominations, and Frank nominated Joe and Will as expected.
Frank thinks that I am not classy. Everyone's lied in this game. Ugh. He's a hypocrite. This chef's not done cooking yet. Revenge, that's a dish that's best served cold, baby. Just like my food. No, really, you're gonna have to heat it up. Okay, so that's the deal. And I guess we're gonna have the POV on Wednesday airing, and then Thursday someone's going home. I hope it's not Will. Till next time.
Much love.